Hello, and welcome to Spirit Among Us. This week we've been talking about the parable of the sower. And in the midst of this chapter in Matthew 13, Jesus also talks about why he speaks in parables. After a certain point in his ministry, Jesus started only speaking to large crowds in parables. And here he tells us and shows us why he does that. Matthew chapter 13, verses 10 through 16. Then the disciples came and said to him, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And he answered them, "To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to the one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. Indeed, in their case the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled that says, 'You will indeed hear, but never understand, and you will indeed see, but never perceive. For this people's heart has grown dull, and with their ears they can barely hear, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn, and I would heal them.'" So when Jesus is questioned about the parables, when his disciples come to him and ask him why he is speaking in so many parables, Jesus specifies that the secrets of the kingdom of heaven have been revealed to them. He says, "To you guys, to you who are following me, to my disciples, the secrets of the kingdom of heaven have been revealed. But these secrets have not been revealed to others. These are for you to understand, and not for others to understand." So what it sounds like Jesus is saying is that he speaks in parables so that people won't understand what he's actually saying. He is actively speaking in a confusing way so that only those who are willingly following him will understand what he's actually saying. Only his disciples will hear his teaching and be able to understand it. This is why Jesus spoke in parables. This is why, after a certain point in his ministry, whenever he was in front of a large crowd, he only gave a message through a parable. So Jesus states that these people have hearts that are dull. They have closed their eyes, and they can barely hear with their ears. He says that the prophecy of Isaiah has been fulfilled in these people because of these things, because they don't understand, because they've closed their eyes. Now I'd like to take a look at how his quote compares with the original found in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 6 verses 9 through 10. "And he said, 'Go and say to this people, keep on hearing, but do not understand. Keep on seeing, but do not perceive. Make the hearts of this people dull, and their ears heavy, and blind their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and turn, and be healed.'" So now, this is interesting to read this here, because they seem to be saying different things. Did Jesus misquote Isaiah here? I mean, Jesus said that these people have closed their eyes. But these verses are saying that God has blinded their eyes. It's a command to Isaiah saying, blind their eyes with confusing messages. So it's interesting because it seems that Jesus didn't quote Isaiah word for word. So is Isaiah wrong? Or is Jesus wrong? That's a rhetorical question, of course. The answer is that both of these are from God's holy word. And so both of these are true. In the case of Isaiah prophesying to the people of Israel back in the BC time period, and also in the case when Jesus was giving parables to people who were unbelievers, God blinded those unbelievers. He blinded them with parables and confusing teachings. And at the same time, they close their own eyes so that they won't see the truth. I think that Jesus purposefully spoke of Isaiah's prophecy in this way. He purposefully spoke of it in a way to demonstrate that it was as much God's decision to blind them as it was their decision to be blinded. This is an example of where God's sovereign will, where his almighty action meets the will of man. It is both completely God's will for them to be blinded and not understand, and it is also completely their will to not see the truth. So they close their own eyes. So in reality, when Jesus spoke in parables, he was only giving the people what they actually wanted. They didn't want to see the truth. They were looking for a way to blame Jesus. They were looking for something in his teaching that was incorrect, some reason to arrest him. That's what most people really wanted. Or they wanted a quick fix. They weren't willing to actually follow him and give their lives to him. They just wanted an easy way into God's kingdom, an easy way to have salvation. They wanted to have their ears tickled. And Jesus didn't want to offer that to them. So, in speaking in parables and keeping them blind through that, he was fulfilling his own will at the same time he was fulfilling their will. And that is why Jesus spoke in parables. Thank you for watching, and God bless.